Everybody ready?
Let's get the show on the road.
Hello, and welcome to On-Screen Hype, the show that gives you news about your favorite TV shows, movies, and everything in between. Now let's get the show started with San Diego Comic-Con. So yeah, a lot of news came out from this year's San Diego Comic-Con, especially from Disney and even more so from Marvel Studios. A total of 21 Marvel projects were revealed to be in development or production or the planning stages spanning Marvel's MCU phases 4, 5, and 6. Look, there's a lot to talk about, so we're going to cover all of this like rapid fire, so here we go. So there's going to be 2 projects to finish up Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The most immediate release is going to be She-Hulk Attorney at Law, a new series coming to Disney Plus, set to premiere its first episode on August 17th of this year. Also, there's going to be Black Panther Wakanda Forever, set to release in theaters on November 11th of this year. Next up is Phase 5 of the MCU, starting with the theatrical release on February 17th, 2023 of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, with the introduction of the villain MODOK, which is actually an acronym for Mental, Mobile, or Mechanized Organism designed only for killing. Also confirmed in 2023 is Season 2 of Marvel's What If, set to show off more animated scenarios of the multiverse, with a confirmed voice provided by Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch. Set for the spring of 2023 is Marvel's Secret Invasion. Then on May 5th is the release of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with the return of the core cast along with 3 others. Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, Chukwudi Iwuji as the High Evolutionary, and providing her voice as Cosmo the Space Dog will be Maria Bakalova. Coming for summer of 2023 is Marvel's Echo, the series coming to Disney Plus with the return of Maya Lopez from the first season of Hawkeye, as well as confirmed roles of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Also coming in the summer of 2023 on Disney Plus is Season 2 of Loki, with the return of Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Owen Wilson as Mobius, and Tara Strong coming back to provide the voice of Miss Minutes. Then after that is the movie The Marvels, a movie set for release July 28th of 2023, with the return of Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel and a hopeful appearance of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. In the fall of 2023 for Disney Plus is a 6-episode season of Ironheart with Dominique Thomas, Alden Ehrenreich, and Manny Montana. Also in the fall of 2023 is the release of the animated X-Men 97 with the 2nd season already confirmed. After that is Agatha House of Harkness, now been renamed to Agatha Covenant of Chaos, slated for release in winter of 2023 or coming early 2024 to Disney Plus. For the year of 2024, no specific time frame yet, for Disney Plus is the release of the animated series Spider-Man Freshman Year. Charlie Cox has been confirmed to voice Matt Murdock, but Tom Holland will not be returning to the role of Peter Parker, unfortunately. Good news though is that Season 2 is already being confirmed with the ingenious name Spider-Man Sophomore Year. Also slated for release in 2024 on Disney Plus is a full-fledged series of Marvel Zombies, which will be expanding upon the episode of Marvel's What If where they turned into zombies. This show is said to be more mature with a goal of reaching an R rating equivalent of TVMA. Another slated release for Disney Plus is an 18-episode season of Daredevil Born Again, which will be the official return of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock / Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk / Kingpin. The series sounds like it'll be based on the comic series written by Frank Miller. Coming May 23rd of 2024 will be Captain America New World Order, starring Anthony Mackie in the role of Sam Wilson as Captain America. And the end of Phase 5 of the MCU will come with the release of the Thunderbolts, slated for release on July 26, 2024. For Phase 6, Marvel has set a theatrical release of the Fantastic Four at the far date of November 8, 2024. Then after that, slated for May 2nd, 2025 is Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, with a confirmed director, for now, to be Destin Daniel, who made Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And lastly, the final announced project was Avengers: Secret Wars, set for release on November 7th of 2025. And now that we've gone over everything Marvel at Comic-Con, let's talk about other news. The movie studio A24 will be allowing a large collection of its titles to stream on HBO Max during the month of August. You can see the full list here. There will be a total of 28 movies that HBO Max will have available from A24, and it's going to start on August 1st. Talks have been taking place between Disney and the BBC, that is the British Broadcasting Corporation, to acquire the international streaming rights to the show Doctor Who. The story is that talks have started between the 2 companies. No details have surfaced yet. We don't know how seasons or episodes will be distributed. We don't know how this will affect HBO Max's current stake in the streaming. We don't know anything yet. All we know is that talks have started. So yeah, there you go. The movie production studio Orion Pictures is revamping their company logo. This is a short one, but the Orion logo is getting modernized from its classic 44-year-old pre-movie animation to a newer logo that will show a different style that still pays homage to the original. This new logo has officially debuted on July 21st of this year. San Diego Comic-Con this year had a new announcement, and it's that there's a new addition to the upcoming series of Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai, and that new addition is Zach Galligan. Yeah, it's the actor from the old Gremlins movies. He's coming back to provide his voice for the new animated series. He joins a cast that has Sandra Oh, Randall Park, George Takei, and Bowen Yang providing their voices as well. There's going to be a sequel to A Quiet Place, making it a trilogy. The sequel will be called A Quiet Place Day 1, and it'll be directed by Michael Zarnowski, known for directing Nicolas Cage in Pig. Producers include Michael Bay, Andrew Form, Brad Fuller, and John Krasinski. The movie has now been set for release on March 8, 2024. The US military is set to launch their own streaming service under a company name called the American Forces Network, or AFN for short. It's going to be a global service that will offer both video on demand and live streaming that they're going to call AFN Now. It'll be free for members of the US military and their families, including those retired and civilians serving in the US Department of Defense living overseas. AFN hopes to offer tailored information to their military audience of an estimated 160,000 to 180,000 troops. Broadcast officer Eric Berzonis said, quote, "They can't get information on their careers, they can't get information on their local community, and that is what we deliver," end quote. Their content will first feature recent episodes of popular talk shows and soap operas, and it will have a limited catalog of pre-recorded sports events including baseball, soccer, hockey, and racing events like IndyCar and NASCAR, and they hope to strike a deal with the NBA and NFL in the future. You can find information on their website at afngo.net. Netflix has acquired the animation studio Animal Logic. Known for making animated films such as Happy Feet, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, The Lego Movie both 1 and 2, and Peter Rabbit, the studio will remain working under its Animal Logic brand while under the ownership of Netflix. Hoping to close the deal at the end of the year, Netflix is now going to own the Animal Logic animation studio. Disney is developing a new music comedy that they will call Penelope. The plot will center around the classic fairy tale The Princess and the Pea. The script will be written by Robert Sudduth, and Will Gluck will serve as producer under the company Olive Bridge. Not much else is known about this movie at this time.
It has begun!
New Line Cinema is set to start moving on making the sequel to the 2021 reboot of Mortal Kombat. The story here is that it's not only starting, but the director of the reboot is coming back to make the sequel, Simon McCoy. So far, that's all we know. Nothing more has been announced. An anime series based on the Boom Comics Berserker, which is spelled thusly, is coming from the studio Production IG. The studio is planning on making 2 seasons out of the comic series, and they already have a start on the casting with Keanu Reeves in the lead role. Here's a description of the story. Berserker is a brutally epic saga about an immortal warrior's 80,000-year fight through the ages. The man known only as B is half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. But after wandering the earth for centuries, B may have finally found a refuge, working for the US government to fight battles too violent and too dangerous for anyone else. In exchange, B will be granted the one thing he desires, the truth about his endless blood-soaked existence and how to end it. Berserker is expected to release on Netflix once it's completed. There will officially be a Sister Act 3, and it's coming to Disney+. Nearly 30 years after the second movie was released, a third movie has now officially been announced to be in development. Tyler Perry is said to be the film's producer, and in the lead role of Dolores will be Whoopi Goldberg. Not much else is known at this time. Paul Dano, the actor who played the Riddler in the latest reboot of The Batman, is writing a comic book for DC Comics. He'll be writing a 6-issue series of comics called Riddler Year 1, which will serve as a prequel to The Batman. The comic will feature art of illustrator Steven Subic, but Paul Dano will be writing all 6 issues himself, exploring the origin and evolution of Edward Nashton into the Riddler. You can expect to see the series on shelves in October. There's going to be an episode of Teen Titans Go where the gang is going to be on its way to make a movie, and they're looking for a director. Just so happens the director they're going to run into on their trek to Warner Brothers Studios is going to be Zack Snyder. And funny enough, the voice of Zack Snyder is going to be Zack Snyder. Yeah, Zack Snyder's going to be voicing himself for an episode of Teen Titans Go. The 365th episode, which will be called 365 with an exclamation point, is scheduled to appear this fall on Cartoon Network. Comic book heroes Batman and Spawn have crossed over twice before, once in 1994 with Spawn Batman and another time in 1995 with Batman Spawn. And now, once again, the two will cross paths in another comic, a 48-page one-shot called Batman Spawn No. 1. Returning to collaborate is the creator of Spawn, Todd McFarlane, now president of Image Comics, along with now chief creative officer of DC Comics, Jim Lee. The comic is set for release on December 13th of this year. With Amazon's upcoming show The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power still in development, a new announcement was made. The show now has 2 music composers. One music composer is Bear McCreary, who's known for writing music for movies like Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the remake of Child's Play, and the Netflix show Masters of the Universe Revelation. As if that wasn't enough, the other music composer is Howard Shore, the composer of all 3 films of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Return of the King. We can expect to hear their music when Rings of Power premieres on Amazon September 2nd, 2022. Spotify and DC DC Entertainment are collaborating on an audio series they're calling Harley Quinn and the Joker, Sound Mind. The series will be written by Eli Horowitz. Set as the cast will be Christina Ricci as Harley Quinn, Billy Magnuson as Joker, and Justin Hartley as Bruce Wayne. This is the second audio series that Spotify and DC will produce. The first was Batman Unburied, which is now available on Spotify. This new series does not yet have a release date. Some news came out of Comic-Con about the National Treasure series Edge of History coming to Disney+. First of all, there's a new teaser out, which is online. You can check it out on YouTube. Second, another actor has been confirmed. Harvey Keitel is returning to his role as Peter Sadusky, you know, the FBI special agent who tried to stop Nicolas Cage. And speaking of Nicolas Cage, the last piece of news is that the cast is really hoping to get him to appear in Season 2 as Ben Gates. That is, if Disney decides to even allow a Season 2. That hasn't been confirmed yet. So yeah, that rounds out the National Treasure news. At this year's Comic-Con, Beavis and Butthead creator Mike Judge came to speak and answer a few questions. One question was whether we'd see a King of the Hill revival or reboot of any sort. His answer, quote, "King of the Hill has a very good chance of coming back," end quote. Now this doesn't confirm that it's in development or in production, it just means that he probably won't say no to the idea. So yeah, that's the story. It can happen. If you're a fan of the classic sci-fi fantasy publication Heavy Metal, then there's news for you. The magazine is launching what they're calling the Metalverse Project. The project will be a series of both live action and animated shows and movies based on some of the classic stories and animations made by production studio Heavy Metal Studios. The president of the studio, Tommy Coriali, had this to say about the project, quote, "Just as Heavy Metal magazine changed the way the world looked at comic books and how the '81 animated film Heavy Metal changed animation forever, Heavy Metal Studios is about to take the reins on live action content and push it far past its current stagnation into new heights. Things will never be the same again. Not much detail is known at this time, and a release date has not yet been set. In a rare occurrence of father-son actors working together, Kurt and his son Wyatt Russell have joined the cast of the upcoming Godzilla series for Apple TV+, set in the Legendary Pictures Monsterverse. It's unclear as to who they will play or their roles in the project, but they join a cast that includes Anna Sawai, Ren Watabe, Kiersey Clemens, Joe Tippett, and Eliza Lazowski. No word on a release date for this live-action Godzilla series coming to Apple TV+. Viola Davis will be returning to the DC Universe in Black Adam. With the film Black Adam set to release in theaters in October, and with Warner Brothers very quietly rearranging the DC Universe project around because, to put it lightly, certain people in real life have had a few indiscretions, certain DC characters are in the shuffle to recenter the focus of the DC Universe. One of these characters that will appear in Black Adam will be Viola Davis's character, Amanda Waller, who seems to be in development to be a common thread from the recent DC films moving forward into the new future DC films. No news has come out on what her character will be doing in Black Adam, set for release in October 21st of this year. Actress Sarah Paulson will be starring in a new horror film. Searchlight Pictures is set to produce a horror thriller film called Dust, which is about a mother who is haunted by her past and who encounters a threatening presence and takes extraordinary measures to protect her family. Sarah Paulson is set to star in the lead role of the film, which will be written by Carrie Krause, who will also direct the film alongside Will Joines. No release date has been announced, but it will be released as a Hulu original film in the US. Bruce Campbell is not done yet with the Evil Dead franchise. After the latest Ash vs. Evil Dead live-action TV series has been cancelled after 3 seasons, actor Bruce Campbell has confirmed in an interview at Comic-Con that another Evil Dead program is in the works. This time it's going to be an animated series. Not much else is known about where this will take Ash or his fellow co-stars, but fans will be pleased to find out once a release date is announced. The National Football League is launching its own league-branded streaming service. The NFL has launched their own streaming service to allow football fans to stream games of their favorite teams. For the basic plan, you can watch any desired preseason game live regardless of location, you can watch any regular season and postseason game live that's local, and you can listen to a live audio broadcast of any game, period. For the premium plan, you can do all that plus a few more things. You can watch ad-free replays of literally any game on demand after it finishes, you can watch a condensed version of the game's replay on demand, commercial-free, plus a few more things that you'll need to sign up for to find out. And in cases where they say any game, they really mean any game. Playoffs, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, it's all available. Standard prices are set at $4.99 a month or $39.99 per year for the basic plan, and $9.99 a month or $79.99 a year for the premium plan. You can find out more at nfl.com/plus. The Netflix movie The Gray Man is getting a sequel. After the release of the first Gray Man film on Netflix, it's been confirmed that a second installment has been greenlit and is in development. Both of the Russo brothers have agreed to return to direct. Also returning for the sequel is Ryan Gosling. Set to write the film are both writers of Deadpool 1 and 2, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. Not much else is known about the sequel at this time. Paramount has acquired the rights to an upcoming film called Stray. From the writer of the original John Wick film, Derek Kolstad, comes a new action flick with the same revenge thriller style with the title Stray. Derek Kolstad is best known for writing the original John Wick, Nobody, and a couple of episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not much is known about the upcoming film Stray, but if it's anything like John Wick and Nobody, then we're in for a great action film regardless. Also, Derek Kolstad's IMDb page looks like he's got some great projects ahead. He's got plans to adapt a few video games like Just Cause, Hitman, Splinter Cell, and even Sega's Streets of Rage. And now for the on-screen hype picture and poster gallery. We did have a few deaths that took place over the past week. Shanka Dukare, the actress and blues singer who's featured in the upcoming film Elvis, died at 44 years old. Paul Sorvino, the actor who starred in Goodfellas, The Rocketeer, and on Law & Order, died at 83 years old. Alan Grant, the legendary comic book writer for Batman, Lobo, Judge Dredd, and many other comic books, has died at the age of 73. And finally, David Warner, the British actor who starred in films such as Time Bandits, Tron, Titanic, and so much more, has died at the age of 80 years old. And that about does it for this episode of On-Screen Hype. I do thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to see more episodes. But for now,
this concludes our broadcast day. Click.